Hello, hello, Leo. Welcome to your January 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Leo. And before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you would like more guidance throughout your 2020, you know I'm going to be here delivering messages for you. And I also want to give a huge shout out to those of you who have been following me and sharing my work. I appreciate you more than I can possibly explain, and I'm really, really grateful to each and every one of you. I am right now offering a free Dealing with Family meditation when you sign up for my newsletter. So if you'd like to get a hold of that, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. The link is in the description box, or just go to onyxhealing.com. And other than that, if you would like to support the channel, feel free to go to onyxhealing.com if you would like to work with me. Sharing my work is always appreciated, and any way that you take classes, get readings from me, all of that is how this channel stays alive. So thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you who are my clients and those of you who support my work. I am so freaking grateful for each and every one of you. All right, other than that, let's dive into this. I'm going to lay the spread out, then we'll get started. All right, Leo, let's go ahead and start with your oracle cards for the month of January. First thing, cheer up, live in the moment. So this is ultimately about presence rather than fretting about the future or reliving the past. It's really about just focusing on what is happening now. Is there air in your lungs? Is there blood flowing through your body? Really keeping it simple and basic. What is happening now? And that is what's going to bring you a lot of peace and keep you present so that you're actually able to lift your mood up rather than stressing about the future or, wondering what's going to happen or, being upset about the past or whatever. It's just about coming back into the present, and that's really going to help shift things for you as a practice in January. Then we have Peacock. So don't be afraid to be your authentic self, truly, truly being yourself. The peacock energy coming from here is just a reminder that it's safe for you to be seen. It's safe for you to be visible. This isn't a month where you're going to need to hide or prevent yourself from being the full expression of you. So this is a month to step away from any people-pleasing habits that you may have. Really own your truth. There's no reason to shapeshift just because of the people that you're around. Really honor your light. And then we have archetype. Call forth ancient imagery. Wear a divinely appointed mask. Explore your personal myths. Again, what story are you telling yourself about the past? What story are you telling yourself about the way it is for you or the way it always ends up for you? That is a load, just so you know, because all of that is just emotions that you're addicted to or stories that you're addicted to telling yourself. And so once you're able to explore those myths that you have internally and dismantle those, you're going to be in a really good position. So January is the month to do that. Beware of anything where you're like, this is going to be forever, or this always happens to me, or anything that's like always or never. Beware of those statements. Now, in the center of this reading, I have past, present, and future. So here's the past. We have the Three of Cups. This is a lot of energy going to other people and being surrounded by a lot of people. So there's a lot of busyness, like needing to be... It's either there's a lot of people that you've actually been around or just a lot of navigating relationships is the other element of the energy coming from this Three of Cups. So I'm just getting that this is transitioning. So let's see what happens in the present. This is going to be the month of January. We have the Six of Wands. This is the Victory card. So I'm getting a lot of clarity coming from here. Clarity about what it is that you're going to do, what you should do, and by should, I mean, what's the internal should? What do you feel like? oh, I should do this. This would be really supportive for me. I don't think that shoulds in that context are bad so long as you actually do them rather than just keep telling yourself, I should, I should, I should. So should as a concept isn't bad. It's just about leaning into what you feel is right. And that's what the Six of Wands is helping you to do. And then the future card we have for you is the Seven of Swords. So this is quite conservative with your energy, right? This is also like a sneaky card. So maybe there's some hermit energy coming off of the Seven of Swords. So let me see what this really is. Seven of Stars. Okay, so it seems like you're just reallocating your energy, and that's what the hermit energy I'm picking up on is. Because the Seven of Swords is, I'm going to do this thing in a sneaky way I don't want anyone to see, but really I just think this is about pulling energy away from one area and redistributing it elsewhere. So the core of January is you getting clarity, being present with where you are now, and then from that space really feeling aligned as to what it is that you need to do, what feels good to you, and then redistributing your energy as you're moving forward. So the present moment is where you can actually figure out what the next step is. If you're fretting about the future, you're not going to be able to understand what you need to do now in this moment. So making sure you're very, very clear on where that energy is going. Now let's look at your external world. This is what's happening outside of you in the month of January. First thing, we have the Nine of Cups, wishes fulfilled, dreams coming true. This is a whole lot of rewards for you. So let me get the other card and see what this is saying. Ten of Wands. Okay. So here is the thing. And this comes up a lot. I'm not surprised that these two cards are coming up together. There will be things that feel really good to you and that you want to do. There will also probably be things that you might just automatically want to say yes to, even though they're not good for you. That's what you want to be really careful of, because the Nine of Cups is like opportunities. I mean, all of this stuff is opportunity, right? Because it's in the external. So as long as it's in the external, it's something you can say yes or no to. This isn't concrete because you have free will. So that's why any environmental stuff is an opportunity. And so the Nine of Cups is like, yes, this is what I've been asking for. And the caveat to that is the Ten of Wands, is you overloading yourself, doing too much, saying yes to too many things, and just leading to burnout and dissatisfaction. So in order to stay in this Nine of Cups area, you have to be really in tune with what actually feels good to you, not just, well, it's in my environment, so I should say yes to it because that's just my automatic response. Or, you know, maybe it's not a good idea to say yes to every social engagement this month. Or maybe it's not a good idea to say yes to every favor this month. It's one of those things that you really have to weigh out for yourself and then identify, is this going to burn me out or is this going to truly bring me satisfaction? That's kind of the two energies that are presenting themselves. And so it's like you can balance this, but you have to just really stay in touch with your body, be really present with yourself. What are you needing in this moment? What actually feels good? And what's your intention behind it? Is the intention to say yes in order to people please or numb or escape yourself? Those are dangerous ways of just saying yes unconsciously. But then there's also like a full body aligned yes where it feels really good and expansive. And that is where satisfaction comes from. So you're going to need to kind of play with that in January. Now this is the emotional world, the internal world for you. We have the Eight of Wands. So things are moving a lot faster than you might realize. It seems like there's rapid evolution, rapid clarity. Everything is just moving at light speed in your emotional world. If you're doing work right now emotionally, this is going to be a month where you experience a whole lot of progress and where you're really starting to reap the results of your work. So I think the Eight of Wands is you really moving along. Now, what I will say is that it's really hard to self-evaluate. And so try not to bully yourself or beat yourself up if you feel like you're not moving fast enough. I'm seeing that you're moving faster than you realize. And then this is the advice for you. We have the King of Swords. Be okay doing your own thing. It's important for you to just hold on to a lot of confidence around you going against the grain, you pushing against the status quo, you doing something outside of the box. It's like, if you're there, just own it. So the main thing is you really want to shelter yourself from other people's truths. So you're going to want to shelter yourself from other people projecting onto you. And the way that you do that is just own your truth. So this is the month where you're going to want to plug your ears from a lot of the input of other people, especially if it's something that, you know, isn't like, if it really isn't aligned with you. So it's kind of like, this is also important with the peacock, is beware of needing to fit in. That is a kryptonite in January. I'm going to clarify the King of Swords for you, but I'm just getting that, you know, Leo is a really social sign generally. Of course, there's nuances to your chart, but generally speaking, it's like Leo enjoys the energy, that social connection energy. So that can kind of lead into people pleasing or, you know, going against what your truth is in order to shine in the group or something like that. And then to clarify the King of Swords, we have the Eight of Knives. So you're not actually going to know what the outcome is. It's like you're blind to what's going on here. And that's probably for the best. It's kind of like, if you're concerned with everyone's opinion, which is again like the shadow side of Leo, it won't work. Because you're just going to be burdened by what are they thinking, what's going on, why, you know, it's just going to be a mess. So instead, it's like, own what you want. If you're going to do something that goes against the grain, just do that. And, you know, plug your ears and just do your thing. It's something that you really can't obsess about the external world, because then you're going to become addicted to other people's perceptions, and that's a terrible place to be. So the King of Swords is just saying, own your independent strategy, and that's going to work. Okay, first, second, third, and fourth quarter of January. So the first quarter, how you start off the month is the Eight of Chalices. Okay, so this is a change in perspective. I think there's something about you knowing what you need to do, or waking up to what it is that you need to do, what it is that needs to change, and that being something that you're more ready to step into, because this is kind of like everything flipping itself upside down with the Eight of Chalices. And so from that space, you're going to be in a better position to do what feels right to you. Second quarter, Two of Chalices. Okay, so this is connection, collaboration. Relationships might be more important at this time, but just beware of that projection piece. That's the one thing you're going to have to look out for. And also, I would say this needs to be a month where you're more insulated, because you are waking up to a lot of information and you're getting a lot of clarity. So however you need to reallocate your energy, when you identify what that is, it's something that I don't necessarily think that relying on feedback is a good idea. So the Two of Chalices also reflects, or it means reflection in a lot of ways, having that spirit or that person or that situation reflecting back to you, whatever it is that's going on. And so you might want to be cautious with that, just because of this King of Swords right here. So I'm getting that, yes, connections and relationships are important, and make sure you're not abandoning your truth. And this is also a good time to network and socialize, just in case you are needing like resources, a new job, partnership, that it's like networking is the solution here. And then card number 3, we have the Hanged Man. you're going to require some discipline. So this is like anchoring into the masculine and using discipline and consistency in order to help you, showing up for yourself consistently, doing something for yourself every day. Like these types of things are what really lead to success and results. And so the Hanged Man is highlighting that to you. Okay, and then the fourth quarter of January, the end of the month, we have the Knight of Swords, needing to face your fears, even if you're carving your own path. Really embracing that within yourself is going to be an excellent approach, and just doing the scary thing. I think that's coming up for a lot of people in January, leaning into the discomfort, doing things that really challenge you, and that it should feel hard, right? When you're doing something that is a new skill, like it's normal to experience that fear and having to confront that. So I'm getting that this is an important part of the process for you. And let's do a 3-card pick. So you're welcome to pick a card that feels right to you. Ask a question, ask for clarity, ask for guidance. If you need more time, pause the video. Card number 1, we have Strength, Personal Power. Again, this is discipline, like needing to anchor into that, using your will, using personal power. That's an important element in order for you to get the results that you need. It's like, don't flip-flop. Use your fixed energy for the right reasons with this card if you pick this. Fixed energy is going to help you, so make sure you utilize it as much as you possibly can. Card number 2, we have the Knight of Wands. This is some flakiness. So it's interesting because this is actually reading very similar to the Strength card, but it's more about your personal commitments. So what are you actually committing to? What are you committed to? What are you willing to show up for? And this is where it's kind of like, beware of flakiness. Like, don't start something if you're not going to finish it. That's just a bad approach to take with this. And since this energy is showing up, it's kind of like, are you going to put your energy behind it or not? Like, you just pick, are you doing it or not? Are you giving it energy or not? And then also, if you're asking about a person, I consider this to be a red flag card, just because it's flightiness, it's instability. And so just if you're wondering about a specific person, this is like, you really need to pay attention to the inconsistencies within that person. Card number 3, 6 of Swords, move on. I think you've gotten everything that you can out of that situation or out of that circumstance. So it's like, if you're just beating a dead horse at this point, then consider trying something new or innovating or doing something different, because it's just like this same old is not going to really pan out in any way that's meaningful. So the 6 of Swords is reminding you of that. It's like, if you want something different, then you're going to need to do something different. You're going to need to be something different. You're really going to need to honor the difference in what you're doing. If you're just staying at the status quo, you really need to push against that. So it's like, are you uncomfortable enough yet? That's ultimately what this is saying, because there's a lot of opportunity for forward movement, but it's really about the question, are you uncomfortable enough yet in order to make the changes that you need to make or head in the direction that you need to go? Or are you just comfortable where you are? That's really the question being asked. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure you check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing. I also host prayers and a tarot poll every Wednesday on my podcast, so make sure you check that out. Sunday messages, the link is in the description box. And until next time, don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you're more than welcome to work with me. Head over to onyxhealing.com to see all of the goodness that I offer. And I will talk to you all later. Have a beautiful month, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye!